Aloha y'all, Daniel Aaron here, your guide to vibrant living. And I got such a wonderful question from a client in my program, Living the Vibration of Vibrancy, that it's worth sharing this response with all of y'all. And the question is this: what do we do in the face of challenge, conflict, things breaking down around us, problems around us, right? Now, specifically, at the time of this recording, what my friend, client is referring to is what's going on in Iran, right? And my daughter would say, why do you say it like that? Iran, you know what I mean. The country over there that's having extreme challenge right now. And my friend has family there, so it's especially personal and pressing. And the general concern, though, for those of us that are consciously cultivating positivity in our life, who are raising our vibration, who are wanting to feel better, do better, contribute more to the world, what do we do when we encounter, quote unquote, negativity, complaint, challenge, problems? Well, two things I'll say on that. There is value, and I would say it's actually important at times to tune it out. Now, stay with me, because that's not the whole answer by any means, right? There is the stereotype of the personal development person, the spiritual development person, the yogi who is what they call navel gazing, which means they're absorbed with themselves. All they care about is improving and developing. I'm stereotyping, generalizing here. I don't believe that this is exactly true most of the time, of course. And as a friend of mine put it nicely once, even Jesus had to get out of town for a while, right? Or as Ram Dass put it, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family. And the reason for that is, for most of us, we become like the people around us. So if we get too much exposure to, just for simplicity's sake, lower vibrations, well, it tends to pull us down. It tends to bring on complaint, misery, problems, right? So there is a time and a place for separating ourselves out. We can never put someone that we care about out of our heart, yet we can put them to the side of our life because that's important for who we're becoming. On the flip side, most of us are not here to spend our lives living in a cave in the Himalayas. We are here to, as Jesus said, be in the world but not of it. So, right, for me personally, I had many years where I was so focused on my own healing, growth, development, awakening process, spiritual path, that I intentionally did not pay attention to media, news, any of that. Right? Because news isn't really news. It's the same old thing recycled. And it's usually what sells, what leads. If it bleeds, it leads. What sells is pain, misery, challenge. Right? That feeds the pain body inside all of us. So, for years I stayed away from that. And then I came to a point and said, at this point in my growth, I need to, as part of my practice, pay attention to all of that. If I'm going to be the most contribution I can be in the world, I need to be aware of what's going on. So the bottom line, and I'll wrap it up here for my friend and for anyone who's challenged with how to deal with the problems around us, the crises, well, the simplest answer I have is two things. One, expose yourself to it. Tune in, pay attention, so long as you can maintain your own positivity, your own high vibration. When you get to the point that your exposure leads you to collapsing and contracting, that's the point where you got to say, draw a line there. Two, one of the reasons we tend to suffer from those kind of situations is we feel powerless. We feel like, wow, there's nothing, all this horrible stuff is happening over here and there's nothing I can do about it. It's not true, though. There is something we can do about it. At the very least, we can pray. We can visualize what we want to be happen. We can send love to the people that are in challenging situations. I'm not saying that's all that we, quote, should do. or can do. I am saying that is absolutely something that everybody can do anytime, anywhere. And that is really helpful. One, because scientifically proven that it actually does have a beneficial effect. And two, it helps lift us up so we can be a greater contribution to those in our immediate environment, and we can feel better ourselves. All right, I hope that is helpful. I hope it makes sense. If this is useful to you, please like it, subscribe, share it, pass it along so we can together create more vibrancy in the world. Thanks, y'all. Aloha.